Hey everybody, it's Martian Monkey here. This is going to be my Arrow Season 4, Episode 4 review and rundown. A whole lot of stuff to break down. I feel like this episode is more like an emotional episode rather than a, big episode. That's what Stephen Amell was talking about with this episode and other episodes. He likes doing, the more, he likes doing the, not the big action sequence crossover episodes, but more like episodes like this, if that makes sense. This episode was really good. Spoiler alert, if you have not seen this episode yet, I'm going to get into full detail of what's going on. A lot of storylines to break down, so let's get started. Okay, so like I said, there's a lot of stuff going on in this episode. I feel like that's the whole big thing about it, is that we're getting a whole lot of big stuff. Side camera. No, I'm joking. But the camera's right here and my face is right here. Anyway, yeah. I'm getting sidetracked. But I feel like there's a lot of stuff to talk about. So let's get started with the Oliver storyline. Let's get started with the Oliver, SCPD, new Arrow Cage, just all of that junk. Let's start with that. So basically what's going on in this episode is that Liza, a character that we've never seen this character before, is basically with the SCPD's anti-vigilante task force, and they are basically taken over. They have been doing some drug dealing around the city with these drugs and trying to make money and trying to save the city, I guess. Now, the character Liza in the comics is actually, her name is Lady Cop, and they used the character, but they gave her a different name. A lot of Arrow, a lot of things in Arrow, a lot of people do that as well. I like this character. I really do. The actress played the character very perfectly, and I really loved how she presented everything, how she did. It was really good. It was a really good performance. Top actors for Arrow. But anyway, so I feel like reoccurring role. Like, I feel like she might be a reoccurring role. We've seen a lot of them before. A lot of people are wondering, like, a lot of reoccurring roles, like when are they going to come back, like Sin, for instance. A lot of people are asking about her, or Huntress. Those reoccurring roles are really good. I really want them to come back. I really want Sin, although the actress who plays Sin is actually playing Audrey on Scream, and I love that show, so I don't want her to leave. And Huntress, I definitely want her to come back at any time. Like, I feel like Season 4 is the perfect opportunity for her to come back. She's been gone since, like, Season 2. We haven't seen her yet, so I think she might have been in Season 3. I don't remember, but I don't think she was. But we haven't seen her since Season 2, so we need to have her come back. But anyway, talking about this role, if Liza is a reoccurring role, that would be really fun. But what's going on with her is that, like I said, she's with the anti-vigilante task force. Lance figures out about it, so does Oliver. They get their team together. Now let's stop right there before we do that and go on to the new Arrow Cave. So basically what's going on is that we remember Oliver is running for mayor, and his campaign office is the same campaign office that Brother Blood from Season 2 used, and underneath the place was Brother Blood's hideout. That's what they're going to be using for their hideout now. It's the new Arrow Cave. With the help of Star Labs, forming it together. The biometric, suit holders. There's space for the car. We've seen the car in the concept art. We've seen that we have all the computers, the guns, the training area, everything that we see there. It's a huge, open, wide space for Team Arrow, and I'm excited that they put together this new Arrow Cave. It's really cool. I love this new Arrow Cave so much. Now, anyway, back to what I was talking about. So, Oliver ends up going after them with the team, of course, and with that, they end up going after them, but everything that the anti-task force is using, that the old anti-task force is using, is weapons that they used a long time ago. So, for instance, if you guys remember, Laurel in the episode used her canary cry, and they shut it down with the gun. That's because they have the anti-vigilante task force stuff, so they know what they're doing. They know about all these things. The arrow deflectors, like all the stuff that they're using is anti-vigilante task force stuff. And later on in the episode, when they fight again, when they do fight again, all the stuff is resolved because they do different stuff. But before I get on to the rest of the episode, this action sequence, probably one of my favorite Arrow fight scenes of all time. I love their fight scenes. That's one thing that the other shows can't copy. For instance, The Flash has their own fighting style. Supergirl probably will have hers too. Like, her fighting right now is not the best, but we'll probably get more of that. Gotham, they don't really have many fight scenes. Gotham doesn't do well in fight scenes. I think their expertise is shootouts. I love the Gotham shootouts with the guns. I feel like that is their expertise, rather than doing fight scenes, because that's more of like a Batman thing, and that's not Batman. It's Commissioner Gordon's, or I guess Jim Gordon's time And so that's Gotham. So I feel like no one can copy Arrow's level of, fight scenes. I feel like when Titans comes along, maybe then when Nightwing hits, I don't know, maybe that will make more sense with the fight scenes. But right now, Arrow is doing the best fight scenes. So that fight scene was really well orchestrated. One of the things I did not like about this season, and last season as well with the fight scenes, Laurel. I don't like Laurel because I like the character. I love Laurel, but I don't like Laurel's fighting because Laurel is Black Canary. Black Canary is one of the best fighters of all time. She's one of the best, strongest fighters in the Justice League. She is, I think, trained a few other members as well. She was trained by, like, Wildcat or something. I don't even remember. But she's one of the biggest, best fighters of all time in the Justice League. We're not seeing that in Laurel right now. She is not a very good fighter. Like, she's been slapped around every episode this season so far. So, yeah, I feel like they gave that aspect of Black Canary into Sara instead of Laurel, but Laurel has the title of Black Canary, so let's give her the, fighting styles of Black Canary. So, maybe she'll go on this big arc or something where she gets better. I don't know, but she's not really good right now. Anyway, like I was saying, they continue on with the fights. Later on, they fight against each other again, but, yeah, while they're fighting, it gets a little crazy because Oliver gets stabbed, almost dies, and Quentin has this big speech. I feel like this was like a really big Lance episode, because Quentin has this big speech where he's like, justice, it's this big thing, we gotta resolve this, and the speech ends up saving Oliver, which is a big deal. But like I said, it's a big emotional episode, so let's get to some of that stuff. This emotional episode, it was really great because of Sara, on one hand, and Oliver on the other hand. So basically what's going on with Sara is that Laurel tells Quentin about Sara. Paul Blackthorne, really great acting at this part, and at this part in this scene, he flips out that Sarah's alive. Later on in the episode, he talks about Damien Darhk. Now, Damien Darhk says, from one father to another, just let her rest in peace or whatever he says, I don't even know. That confirms that Damien Darhk is a father, and that either his daughter is alive somewhere else in the world, or she's dead. So that basically means that he has a daughter. Now, a lot of people flipped out about this because of the whole Felicity theory that Felicity's father is Damien Darhk. The producers said, no, Damien Darhk is not Felicity's father, and that Felicity, her father, will show up in some way in this season, but will be a rich man, I think that's what they said, and that will not be mysticism and all that junk. So it's going to be somebody else, and it's going to be a villain from the comics. So that narrows it down to a list, and Damien Darhk ain't on that list. So that means that Damien Darhk is not Felicity's father, which means that we're probably going to see somebody else that's Felicity's father elsewhere, which is exciting. I cannot wait for that. I want Felicity's mom to be on the show again. I want everything to go really well with that. But anyway, talking about Damien Darhk, he tells Quentin to do the deed, as in just putting her down, and Quentin can't do it, and it's just, emotionally, this episode was 100%, I feel like the emotions were 100% sky high, and he can't do it. So, basically, I think that this was a really good episode because of Sara, and she's gonna be sticking around for a while, as we saw in the end of the episode. But anyway, Quentin gets upset. As well as that, we have Oliver finds out that Quentin's working with Damien Darhk, or at least talks to him at least. And Oliver, Stephen Amell and Paul Blackthorne, that scene, incredible. I feel like that was, amazing. The way that they executed that scene with all the lines and the yelling, the tension and all that stuff, it was amazing. I loved it. And Oliver says that he's going to go undercover with Damien Darhk. It's going to get big. It's going to get huge in that. Alright, so I think I told everything about that. I think I got everything covered with that as well. There was other stuff with the drugstore with Thea. Thea was in there a little bit, pretending to be a party girl again. That I kind of didn't like. I think I got everything else. So let's get on to our last story. Okay, so let's talk about the flashbacks real quick, because that's going to be the last thing we're talking about. Oops, I actually forgot something. We're going to talk about something else other than the flashbacks real quick. So let's talk about Mr. Terrific, Ray Palmer, and Felicity stuff. So that was actually in the episode as well. So in the episode, we get to see that, of course, Felicity talks to Curtis about the text messages that she's getting on her phone. And we obviously know as the audience that that's Ray Palmer trying to contact Felicity, and she can't do anything about it. She's like, okay, it's obviously a prank. Well, she gets it wrong, and it's actually Ray Palmer's last, she thinks that it's Ray Palmer's last testament or whatever, which there was a last testament, a last voice recording. And Mr. Terrific, we kind of got a little backstory with Curtis saying that his brother died, and that if he had the chance to hear his voice, something that he'd never said before, he would take that chance. So Felicity listens to it. We already knew that the password was password. And, yeah, we figure it out. So she hears that, and she kind of starts crying, unfortunately. But that's okay, because we're going to see Mr. Terrific probably by the mid-season finale so that he can head to Legends. So, like, maybe, like, episode, I don't know, like, whenever it's good, whenever he comes back. But anyway, so yeah, now let's get on to the flashbacks. Okay, so with the flashbacks, Oliver's pretty much dealing with this worker lady. We have no idea who this worker is. Like, we don't know who she is. She's probably, hopefully, going to be a big character from the comics. I think that since Oliver told them that he has seen mysticism before, yet we don't know how he saw mysticism, I think what's going to happen is that the mysticism that he saw might be from the flashbacks. Because when you think about it, what's the flashbacks really telling? We don't know what they're telling. Like, we know about Baron Blitzkrieg and the island, and he's supposed to infiltrate, but why? Like, why are we doing this? And there's no ties to Damien Dark, except for last season with the whole Ra's al Ghul thing, or Ra's al Ghul, whatever I'm going to say. So, what's going on with the flashbacks? I feel like the flashbacks should involve mysticism on the island. That would be really cool and fun. Like, I think that would be a really fun idea. And I think that if this girl is going to be a big comic book character, maybe she could be someone mysticism-wise. I don't know. What do you guys think? That'd be really fun. I don't know if they're going to do that or not, but that'd be a really fun idea. But Oliver ends up telling this worker, stay in this cave, and don't let the fire till night. Don't eat the red berries. There's a stream down there. And this is all the stuff that Oliver learned when he was, shipwrecked on Lian Yu. So he's kind of teaching her the ways. And of course, did the whole death trick again. And then it gets crazy because the one guy, I think his name is Clocklin something, or I don't even know, finds out that he is trying to infiltrate them. So what's going to happen next week, I have no idea. I'm super excited for the flashbacks next week. It's going to be really exciting. Other than that, I think I got everything. So I'm pretty sure I got everything in the episode. Oliver does his big campaign speech. Kind of makes fun of himself while doing that. So yeah. The only thing I didn't like about this episode was... Oh, actually, I forgot something. Damien Dark with the whole mystery thing. He's doing the whole box thing where it's like, what's in the box? And Sara is released out of her chains. She got out. Where's she going? I have no idea. I think that's it. So other than that, I think I got everything. The only thing I didn't like about this episode is, one, I did not like Laurel, her fighting. I did not like the fighting of Laurel. I definitely think they need to fix that one way or another. Like, remember Nyssa was training her? So I feel like Laurel should get some more training. Like, the parts when she was in Black Canary mode wasn't very good. But like at that last part when Quentin was being taken, she almost took down that soldier. So, or I guess not soldier. I guess it'd be SCPD guy. So I feel like she needs to be trained more by Nyssa, although Nyssa's super mad at her right now, so that's probably not going to be happening. I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. I think, and the other thing I didn't like was the whole Thea thing with the drugs. I didn't like that as well. Other than that, that's pretty much all I didn't like about it. It's a pretty good episode, though. It's emotionally a big episode. Action sequence-wise, just a few big things, but not really that big of an action episode either. I love it. I'm digging Season 4. I already like the new Arrow Cave. It's all good. So, comment down below what you guys thought of the episode. There are links up there to my other Arrow videos, and as well as some other videos up there. Monkey updates, talking all about the vlog channel. We're actually working on my Halloween costume as we speak. My mom is right now. So I'm super excited for that. The vlog will post Saturday, so get excited as well. And yeah, so other than that, that's all I gotta say. So Twitter, Instagram, Vine, and vlog channel down below. Don't forget to follow and subscribe to those. Other than that, like it for this video. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.